You're in Braves country.
We'll be back in a flash, y'all. Got to let the dogs out real quick, and then we will be back. Pitch by pitch, play by play, your Atlanta Braves. That's your Atlanta Braves, Braves Country Radio for your Cubs and Orioles. I knew I was going to do that. Welcome in. Pete Crow Armstrong has an 0-2 count on him. Lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swung on, dribbled over towards second. And with 2 outs, that'll end the inning. We'll be back for the rest of the game for a pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play doubleheader. Freaky Friday double feature here in Braves country. On this date in 1899, Louisville infielder Honus Wagner steals second, third, and home during the 4th inning of the Louisville Colonels' 7-1 victory over the New York Giants at Eclipse Park. The 25-year-old Flying Dutchman will accomplish the stolen base cycle 4 times, establishing a major league record he shares with Ty Cobb. On this date in 1978, Pete Rose, making the last out when he strikes out on a Gene Garber changeup, goes 0 for 4. That ends his 44-game hitting streak, 1 contest shy of breaking the National League record. The Reds' third baseman tied Wee Willie Keeler's 1897 National League mark the night before with a hit off a future Hall of Famer, Phil Niekro. On this date in 1982, the Hall of Fame inducts Hank Aaron, the career leader in home runs at 755 and RBI at 2297, along with Frank Robinson, the first MVP in both leagues and first black manager in the majors. Travis Jackson, an outstanding shortstop in the 1920s, Happy Chandler, the commissioner when baseball broke the color line, are all inducted into Cooperstown in the 1982 Hall of Fame class. And that's your Braves Country Radio on this date in baseball history. Find us on YouTube and Facebook today. Welcome back. One to nothing your score. Cubs over the Orioles. We get you caught up on everything going on here as we're flipping over from one game to another. First pitch on the way is right there. Looked like a strike, miss for a ball. It's 1-0, the 1-0. Kicks and fires. The 2-0 finally gets the call. 2-1. 2-1 count. Cubs lead it 1-0, top of the 5th. Pitch on the way, down below the knees. Do it again. So 3-1 from Horton. The 62nd pitch of the day. High and inside. Ball 4. So he'll head on down to first base. 1 on, nobody out. Righty-lefty matchup. Mayo the batter. Pitch right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Just misses outside. 1-1. Ryan Presley of the Cubs was DFA'd yesterday. I'm waiting for him to make his rounds back to Braves country. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. The Braves, one of the worst records in baseball. They've got dibs if they want them. 1-2 count. Beautiful day here at Wrigley Field. Doesn't appear to be much cloud coverage at all. The 1-2 in the dirt, 2-2. Good to see everybody coming over here. And if you're newcomers, you're a Cub or a Orioles fan or degenerate gambler, welcome in. We take all types. Pitch on the way, swing, slaps it over to third. And that's going to be a 5-6-3 double play. Nifty defensive work over there with the glove by Shaw. Shaw to Dansby Swanson. Back over to Bush. First pitch on the way here is a swing and a miss. Jackson, it's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1. Bangs it down the third base line. That's going to go off the glove of Shaw into left field, foul territory. He'll slam on the brakes, rounding first, head back to first. And the Orioles have one on with 2 outs. Trying to get my bearings here because it's really difficult to jump from one game to the next. You don't have your lineup sheets and all that kind of stuff that's filled out normally ahead of time. Back to the top of the order, and Jackson Holliday, the batter. First pitch. Up top for a strike, it's 0-1. They're going to flip it over to first. They get him, man. That was close. Jackson in under the tag, but that was a good pickoff move by Horton. The 0-1, runner goes, and that throw is down and into the glove of Dansby Swanson. He'll apply the tag, and that'll end the inning. Orioles go down. 1-2-3, just not the way you normally see it. Horton's giving a hoo here in the land of Wrigley.
Once it's turned on, the sign will spell out Deli Cat Essen.
December 17th, Orville and Wilbur Wright achieved the first powered manned flight at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina in 1903, realizing a dream pursued by inventors and visionaries for centuries. From medieval sketches of flying machines to Da Vinci's designs and 19th century gliders, humanity had long aspired to conquer the skies. The Wright brothers, bicycle mechanics from Dayton, Ohio, shared a passion for flight and combined their mechanical expertise with relentless experimentation. They developed the Flyer 1, a wood and fabric biplane with a lightweight gasoline engine and handcrafted propellers. Choosing Kitty Hawk for its steady winds and soft sand dunes, the brothers took turns piloting their creation. At 10:35 a.m., Orville flew the first successful flight, lasting 12 seconds and covering 120 feet. They made 4 flights that day, the longest by Wilbur stretching 852 feet in 59 seconds. Though modest in scale, this groundbreaking achievement marked the dawn of aviation, forever changing transportation and the world's future.
Other great town names. Lititz.
Oh, it's Lidditz.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
Tell me your favorite team without telling me your favorite team, based on an opposing player or a team that broke your heart.
I thought his speech was great.
Thank you, Kansas City. Today concludes a long journey that has taken me from Southern California throughout America, and I stand humbly before you today in Cooperstown. It is such an honor to stand here and to be inducted with such good friends. I dreamt the same way Nolan did, and I dreamt the same way Robin did, and this is a dream come true.
The Hall of Fame, it's a fraternity like no other. It's like being in the clubhouse again. You just don't play the game.
Just won $1 million jackpot from a scratch-off where he bought the winning ticket.
Welcome into Wrigley Field. Dansby Swanson, for you Braves fans, standing at the plate. First pitch misses outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Lefty-righty matchup. Trevor Rogers fires the pitch up top. 1-1. These two are not unfamiliar with each other. Dansby, the ex-Brave, and Rogers, the ex-Marlin. 1-1. Swung on and hit right to the shortstop. It's going to be a 6-3 putout. Good throw by Henderson. 1 away. 1 up, 1 down. Only 2 games today, day games, were the Braves and Reds at 12:40. Of course, they're leaving to go to Bristol tomorrow. As the first pitch on the way to Ian Happ is right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. No, he called that a ball. All right, here we go. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Up top, 2-0. Orioles and Cubs here in Wrigley. Then after that, you've got games starting at around 6:45 the rest of the night. Tigers at Phillies, Brewers at Nats, KC at the Blue Jays, Astros at the Red Sox. 2-0 pitch, swing, hammers it over to short. That'll be another 6-3 put out. 2 hard hit balls, but right into the teeth of the defense. 2 down. That's a pitcher understanding what he needs to do when the defense is set up the way it is. Trevor Rogers was traded from the Marlins to the Orioles last year. In a head scratcher by most, but Orioles felt like they could do something with him, and they have. I mean, he has put up a good season this year, back to his normal form before he was on the IL for the Marlins, and when he came back, he was just kind of hit and miss. The 0-1, down and away, 1-0. Guess the Marlins are going to hold on to their starting pitchers this year and probably move them in the winter. 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. We talked about the coach speak that Anthopoulos gave Braves fans after not doing anything at the deadline. It was almost verbatim. I mean, it's almost like they were all giving the same speech. I was listening to the Red Sox GM this morning. He was saying almost the exact thing. 1-2. Caught, looking, strike 3 on the outer edge. And that'll end the inning. Cubs go down. 1-2-3. We'll be back in a flash here in Wrigley. That's Harry Carey country.
I ain't riding with nobody that think that the AC burn gas. Stop it.
December 19th, Poor Richard's Almanac was first published in 1732. Writing under the pseudonym Richard Saunders, Benjamin Franklin chose the pen name, inspired by the humorously humble and fictitious Poor Richard, to connect with everyday readers. An almanac was a yearly publication providing weather forecasts, planting schedules, astrological information, and advice for daily living. Franklin's almanac stood out for its witty proverbs and practical wisdom, like early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise, and a penny saved is a penny earned. Poor Richard's Almanac was an instant success, selling tens of thousands of copies annually and becoming one of the most popular publications in colonial America. Franklin published it for 25 years till 1758, earning substantial profits that made him wealthy. By age 42, the polymath Franklin was able to retire from this printing business, devoting his time and passion to science, public service, and diplomacy. The almanac's humor and timeless wisdom cemented Franklin's reputation as a man of wit and practicality, leaving a legacy that remains celebrated today.
You could put 5 or 6 old Hall of Famers together and we could talk for 5 hours, 6 hours. You know, you give us a few beers and, you know, you could double that. We all ate together in the plaque room. The feeling inside, you get your heart pumping a little bit, and you really sense how special it is to be a Hall of Famer.
It's really a respect that you have, and that ties you together, because you know the effort that it takes, the commitment that it takes to be an elite player. And I think it's really cool to say that George Brett is my friend.
It's definitely been a life changer. It's given me so many thrills to be able to go to Cooperstown now and call these guys my friends. You know, that's the best part about it.
My new dog ate a whole bag full of scramble towels. We got word, took him to the vet. No word yet.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way to Thielen. From Thielbar, excuse me. I think I said Thielen. Thielbar, lefty-lefty matchup, fires it. Jackson Holiday. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Swung on, pops it up. Back over towards the third base side in foul territory. It'll bounce off the dugout and into the crowd. 1-1. The 1-1, lefty-lefty. Drops a bender there on the outer edge. 1-2. So Horton heard a who. He went 5 innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Kept the Orioles scoreless. Pitch on the way. It swung on, popped up. Shallow left center field. Making the catch is PCA. One away. One up, one down. First pitch on the way, swung on. Baltimore chopper right in front of the mound. Right to the Cubs pitcher, Thielbar. He'll flip it to first. 1-3, quickly 2 down. Two down. Henderson, your batter. First pitch on the way is a strike right there. It's 0-1. The 0-1 or 0-1 up there for a strike. 0-2. 0-2 count. Lefty-lefty in the dirt. 1-2. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. And that'll end the inning. Cubs holding serve. It's 1-0. Cubbies over the Orioles here in Chicago.
People always ask, what's the best way to get through the workday if I have difficult coworkers? And I'm going to share with you the one sentence I use that works every single time. Eat.
I'm very curious. If you live with your mother, what do you do when you have a girl spend the night? Okay, what do you do when you have a guy spend the night? It's gotta be one or the other.
A girl! It would be a girl! Look, for your information, I want to move out, but apartments are very expensive. As it is, we pay $750 for a 1-bedroom.
A 1-bedroom? Where do you sleep? You share a bedroom with your mother?
Twin beds! Twin beds! There's an entire night table between us!
I've played 20 years in big leagues, but I've been a Royal since 1971. So, it's crazy. It's my 52nd year in the organization. That's mind-boggling to me.
30 years after he retired, George Brett's connection with the Royals is as strong as ever. He's been vice president of baseball operations for the club since he hung up his cleats.
You know how they do these things? You give them money, and anyways, we have one. My family put one in. Thanks for a lifetime of memories, the Brett family, and I don't know where it is.
Dad, can you tell me what you were saying about immigration? Mom said you got in an argument with a lady at the store.
It was nothing. She just was going on about immigration should be open borders and unchecked. And I was trying to explain to her that immigration is like water. Water is good, it's wonderful, it's necessary, it's powerful like immigration, but you can't just have it unchecked. You can't have a flood of water come in. You have to, it'll destroy towns and kill people. You have to take water and channel it and funnel it and control it and organize it, and then it's great. And I was trying to show her that's what was immigration. She didn't like it.
And what'd she say?
She called me a racist.
And what did you say?
I told her I hope she drowns.
Dad, you can't say that. You can't tell someone.
Literally, it was just in the moment of the metaphor. That's all.
Welcome back. Trevor Rogers goes back to work. Think he got a bearings underneath it. Finally got a lineup set up and everything. Tell you the biggest difference is getting used to where this is two of the worst that I've seen. Cubs and Orioles, the way they set their screens up. Pitch on the way is swung on and hammered into left field, down for a base hit. Rounding first, heading to second, and it's going to be a leadoff double. In with a head first slide. Hard hit ball down the line by Shaw. And that'll flip the lineup back over. First pitch on the way is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Nico Horner showed bunt. That tells you what these two teams are expecting, a low-scoring game. We're in the 6th inning. You got the number 9 hitter at second base. 1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. Saw that the wind was supposed to be blowing in from center field at about 17 miles an hour. That might have a lot to do with this, because normally you wouldn't have your leadoff hitter showing bunt with just a 1-run lead in the 6th. Bullpen is getting warm. The 1-1 from Rogers, looks over his shoulder, kicks and fires. Swing, slaps it down the line. 1-2. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, down and in. Strikeout. That'll bring Kyle Tucker to the plate. Tucker, lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch down and in. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Right there, 93 on the outer cut. So an 0-2 count. Cubs 1, Orioles nothing. The 1-2. Swung on, chopped over towards short. He's going to flip it to first, and it's going to be a 6-3 put out. The runner at second will move over to third base, but there are 2 down. Two down, and that'll bring Suzuki to the plate, the designated hitter. Batting .248 on the year. First pitch on the way is a 94 mile an hour. P at the knees on the outer edge. He called that a ball? Yeah, see who's working behind the plate here today. Had to jump into this. The 1-0. Little higher, little off the edge, and that's a strike. 1-1. Go figure. It's Doug Eddings. Old Doug Eddings. Yeah, he'll get you. The 1-1. Right there at the knees. Same exact spot that pitch hit the first pitch of the at bat, and this time it's a strike. It was a strike the first time. Big Doug Eddings didn't see it that way. The 1-2. Caught looking, strike 3. He flipped one up there. A bender, same spot, got the call again. Cubs threaten, but can't get him across. We'll be back in a flash when we return. Adley Rushman leads off the Birds.
And there's one over here. Looks like it's holding some water. I think it's time to go.
Today we hop aboard the big train and learn more about one of baseball's best pitchers, Walter Perry Johnson. His sidearm motion made it difficult for right-handed hitters to follow because the ball looked like it was coming out of third base. His record 3,509 strikeouts would stand for more than 55 years before it was surpassed by 3 other Hall of Fame pitchers in 1983. Only Cy Young has won more games than him, and they remain the only pitchers to win 400 or more games. He had 12 20-win seasons, of which 10 of them occurred in a row. Twice he topped 30 wins. He is the all-time leader in shutouts with 110. He also holds the record for most wins in 1-0 games with 38. 65 times during his career he lost because his team failed to score a run. He won the American League MVP twice, which has only been done 3 times in history by a pitcher. He remains the only pitcher in history to pitch 2 40-plus consecutive scoreless innings. His 547 hits are the most by a full-time pitcher, which thanks to the DH will never be broken. He led the league in strikeouts, a major league record 12 times. After all that, where does Walter Johnson rank on your all-time pitchers list?
I think his role has been on George Brett for many, many years to sort of guide the principles of the organization.
We got action.
I think he loves being able to meet people.
And it drives me crazy. I'm trying to watch the game, and you're doing backflips and running around yelling and screaming.
He's such an icon in Kansas City. He's everybody's childhood.
You know what they call this room? Pine Tar Productions. Perfect. Isn't that what this is? Pine Tar Productions? Pine Tar Collective.
To roam around during the games, to sit with the owner, to hobnob with different sponsors.
Hey, Rusty, how are you? Good to see you.
He's really good at that. I used to tease him and say, "You're Slugger in a blazer." That's basically what he is. He's like their mascot in a blue blazer.
Welcome back to Braves Country Radio. Cubs and Orioles today. What Ross are y'all talking about? I saw the tail end of the chat. First pitch on the way is off the plate. Andrew Kittredge, the right-hander for the Cubs. It's 0-1. Kittredge just came over in the trade deadline. He got to the park pretty quickly. The 0-1. Down and away misses. 1-0. 1-0 count. Swing, lifted into left field. F7 in your scorecard. One away. Not the biggest fan of him, but I'll take anything over what we got right now. I'll put it that way. He kind of lost his way when he started Dancing with the Stars and got in there with Wrigley and everything like that. To me, he was all shine. But that was a little while ago. Maybe his heads are out of the clouds now. Is the 0-1 swung on, chopped down the line, foul. I didn't know which one you were talking about because both of them were terrible answer to what the Braves' problems are, in my opinion. David Ross, the manager, and Joe Ross, the terrible relief pitcher that's bounced around the league for years. Been nothing but batting. I've always called him batting practice Ross. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. I want Shoemaker. If there's a guy out there that I want, I think he did more with less, and he would have such better roster to play with in Atlanta. But are they likely to pick the best man for the job? I don't know. First pitch on the way to Cowser is a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. He's been broadcasting, Ross has. I forget who he broadcasts for, but I've seen him from time to time. The 0-1, chops it foul, 0-2. But he was kind of a ham. Once he got in the spotlight with the Dancing with the Stars and then immediately managing the Cubs right after that, it was just his head was in the clouds. I was never a big, in fact, on our radio show that we did on CBS Sports back then, we used to make fun of him all the time because of all the antics that he did. The 0-2's in the dirt, 1-2. But a lot of folks wouldn't have followed that, wouldn't know what we were talking about because it's been a handful of years ago and he wasn't in Atlanta. The 0-2, caught looking strike 3. Bender on the inner edge, and that'll end the inning. So the Cubs will grab the sticks. We go to the bottom of the 7th here in Wrigley, I believe. Both of these, I mean, Baltimore and Chicago, get your act together on the way you do your screens. Can't beat having 2 7th-inning stretches on a Friday afternoon in August. First pitch on the way from Rogers is high and out of the zone as we begin the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs at the plate. It's 1-0. Kelly, the backstop for the Cubs, takes the 1-0 outside, 2-0. Rogers has only thrown 68 pitches. It's kind of like the game we just left. The 2-0. Swing, pops it up. Will it stay in play? It will not. A beautiful sunshiny day here in Wrigley. It's pretty cool during their 7th inning stretch that they did. They put on the screen on the Jumbotron there for the Wrigley faithful to see. They put a recording, I believe it was from last year, as the pitch on the way is popped up, back foul out of play again. And their 7th inning stretch, they replayed Ryan Sandberg doing a 7th inning stretch with his family. I don't think he was in the booth. It didn't look like he was in the booth. It looked like they were in the stand somewhere, and they gave him a mic and everything. It's pretty cool, and I bet there wasn't a dry eye in the house there at Wrigley. him just passing just a few days ago. The 2-2. Swing lifted into center field. That's down for a base hit. And all right. They got a base hit going. I don't really know what to do when the Braves aren't doing it because I'm used to playing the chop, so we'll just play some of this. That'll bring Pete Crow Armstrong to the plate. PCA takes the first pitch high and inside. 1-0. Lefty-lefty matchup. PCA is 1 for 2 on the day with a .273 batting average. Rogers comes set, brings it. Swing, pops it up. Got underneath that one. Can of corn over by third base. Fighting the sun is Westbrook. He falls into the dugout as he's making the catch. Wow. That was dangerous. Need to look at that again. That was the Cubs dugout too, and he went down the stairs. Man, nobody gave a crap if he fell and broke his leg. He didn't know. They were just like, whatever, dude. There was one guy down there. He is either security or part of the television team. The only one there that kind of broke his fall. So kudos to that man. You didn't see him till the very end. Man, that was dangerous. First pitch on the way to Dansby Swanson is a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Yeah, it's funny doing this game brings back all those memories. I know it's basically a tribute to Harry Carey every one of our 7th inning stretches on Braves Country Radio when we're doing the Braves games. That was mainly because I grew up watching the Cubs and Braves as a kid. And then, of course, you can't deny the link with the Careys broadcasting for both stations. But this week, when you got the passing of Ryan Sandberg, I mean, it's almost haunting to be here doing a game because, man, Ryan Sandberg was him and Mark Grace. I mean, they were even before Mark Grace. Leon Durham. Those were the heroes of my youth. Jody Davis is the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Remember how I can't do it justice for you. If y'all remember, Harry Carey used to sing Jody Davis song, whatever. I don't even know the words. I just know it was Jody Davis, and it was something. I don't know what he said, but he would, and you knew he was liquored up on Bud Heavy when he got into that song. The wind is howling in from left center field right now. My guess is around 20 miles an hour. First pitch on the way to Ian Happ is inside for a ball. It's 1-0. 1-0. Kicks and fires. Right there at the knees. 1-1. 1-1 count. Is Mark Grace the best hitter in the 90s? Not even close. Foul back out of play. I mean, he had some good contact years, but I can think of 2 or 3 Braves I would take over him. The 1-2, swung on, chopped off the plate. We'll do it again. Is that what he was trying to sing, John? Sleepy? I didn't even know. I just remember him singing it. Never made a lot of sense, but he would just start singing Jody Davis. Every time he did it, man, me and my buddies be down at the basketball court just laughing our ass off about it. The 1-2, down and in, 2-2. 2-2 count. What the heck just happened here? Man, this website's going all screwy here recently. The 2-2. Swing, ropes it down the left field line. Making the running catch is Cowser, and that'll end the inning. Cubs threat, but can't get it across. We'll be back in a flash. Top of the 8th we go. And we might as well play the 8th inning thing.
106 miles from Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
It's happy hour.
When wins become losses
and losses become wins.
You guys going to happy hour? Yeah? Yeah, I'll come for a couple. Just a couple, though. Not like last time.
Okay. Let's get it! Hey!
Afternoon, everybody.
I put my pants on, one leg at a time. Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription is no...
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
You're in Braves country.
Drink a beer. Salute.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. Pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
Yeah. For me and the Lord, we gotta understand it. We're on a mission from God.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. New pitcher on the mound for the Cubbies. It's Keller. Brad Keller. Mitch Keller's brother. Fires the 0-1 in there. It's 0-2. 0-2 count. Of course, Mitch wasn't moved at the deadline as everyone thought he was going to be. Slider outside wide. 1-2. It's really telling what people did, what GMs did this. Apologize, I thought that was down. What GMs did this trading deadline is the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, 1 away. And I thought the game would be there a couple of years ago. They're finally starting to represent what the game's all about now, and that's go after elite relief pitching and not worry about getting yourself 4 or 5 great starters, 3 or 4 great starters going into the postseason. First pitch on the way is up top for a ball. It's 1-0. Because you can use these relievers darn near every game with all the off days in the postseason, and it's much more important to have those pitchers in October. We were talking about a couple of years ago. I mean, I was surprised teams weren't making that the priority. The 2-0 to Carlson, outside wide, 3-0. That's what you saw the Mets do. That's what you saw the Yankees do. A couple other teams. Tigers were aggressive with the bullpen. Cubs made some adjustments as the pitch on the way is inside, ball 4. Padres and all the big folks, they at least added one relief arm. That's why it's surprising that they didn't get rid of Iglesias, and they had a chance to do it, and they tried to short the stock is what they did, and everyone passed and said, you know what, we'll take this guy instead, we'll take this guy. Because at the end of the day, you've only got X amount of teams that are actually making trades to improve for the 2025 season. The rest of the teams are trying to trade for the future. It's the first pitch to Jackson is right down the line. Foul. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Right there at the knee zone, too. Y'all still talking about the best hitter in the 90s. I mean, I don't even think Mark Grace is going to crack most people's top 50. But there was a time, slap hitter, you needed a base hit. He was one of your guys. 1-1 right there, first strike, 1-2. As good as Boggs and Gwynn were going into the 90s, I think by that time the power had started to shift as the pitch on the way, swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. I think what you have now is today's game, it's all about pop. In the 90s, you were still looking for both. So guys like Ken Griffey Jr. come to mind. I mean, Keller throws the first pitch up there, first strike in the corner. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Holiday takes it outside. Evens up the count, 1-1. They flip it over to first to keep the runner close by. We'll go ahead and pull the screen back so you can keep an eye on that. One count. Just grabs the outer edge, 98 miles an hour, 1-2. I was surprised that the Brewers weren't a little more aggressive with the bullpen, to be honest with you, at the trade deadline, because that is a team that gets it. And though they've got a good bullpen, I'm surprised they didn't try to tilt the scales in their favor with an ad or two. The 1-2, down and away, 2-2. Backup catcher, adding Danny Jansen. That's the biggest name they really added. The 2-2 in the dirt. Full count. So with 2 outs, the runner will be on the go. Payoff pitch. Runner goes, pops it up. Holiday slams the bat. Won't do him any good. That ball will be caught by PCA in shallow center, and that'll end the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Cubs trying to add some insurance when we return.
I'm not always an anxious person. I mean, as long as the house is clean and I've had enough sleep and I'm not worried about how much money is in my bank account and absolutely nothing is overstimulating me, I'm like actually super chill.
December 20th, South Carolina became the first state to secede from the Union in 1860, setting the stage for the Civil War. This was fitting as South Carolina had been at the center of the nullification crisis nearly 30 years earlier when John C. Calhoun and President Andrew Jackson clashed over federal authority and states' rights. The raid on Harper's Ferry by John Brown in 1859 further convinced many Southerners that slavery could only be protected by controlling the federal government. However, at the 1860 Democratic National Convention held in South Carolina, the party fractured over the issue of slavery, splitting into Northern northern and southern factions. This division allowed the presidential race to feature 4 candidates, paving the way for Abraham Lincoln to win with less than a majority of the popular vote. To the south, Lincoln's election meant a loss of control, and South Carolina's secession led to a chain reaction of southern states leaving the Union, forever altering U.S. history. And while the nation plunged into its bloodiest conflict ever, it led to what Lincoln called a new birth of freedom.
The life he has gotten to live, I think he really loves it. And Kansas City's the perfect place for him.
Brett's lived in Kansas City just about as long as he's been a Royal. It's where he still makes his home today, where his family roots feel the strongest.
We try to have dinner every Sunday night. Every Sunday night, usually. We try to.
All the boys live within a couple miles of us, and we try to get together as a family once a week for dinner. We call it family dinner, and usually on a Sunday.
This is a tri-tip. It's a really popular dish in California. Earlier, I got some garlic cloves and sliced them up real thin and got some rosemary. We'll take it to 120, and then we're going to let it breathe a little bit. And we're just going to have some sandwiches tonight. Onions, peppers, we got beans and salad. It's going to be a fun night.
You play for one reason and one reason only, to win. Losing sucks.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way. Speaking of losing, first pitch was swung on and roasted over towards first. Easy put out. G3 on your scorecard. One away. Bottom of the 8th. Rogers still at only 83 pitches. Baltimore's looking for a complete game out of Rogers. If he goes 8 and the Orioles don't score in the 9th, that's exactly what it'll be. He'll throw a slider up there for a strike. Right-handed bat is Shaw. He's 1 for 2 with the double. It's 0-1. 1-0 your score. Pops it up. Can of corn in the middle of the infield. Who wants it? Mayo, the first baseman, grabs it. Quickly 2 down. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Baltimore. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Cubs. 1-0 your score. The wind's howling in about 20 miles an hour. Comfortable day here in Wrigley. Supposed to get up around the low 70s and a lot of sunshine. But the wind blowing in is making it tough for the ball to carry. First pitch to Horner is fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. The 0-1. High and inside. Hit the ground. Did that touch his bat? It did. It's 0-2. Adley Rutschman looked confused, and Cubs skipper Counsell was thinking about challenging it, but he did not. First glance, it looked like, yeah, it did. It hit his bat before it ever touched the glove. So an 0-2 count. Counsell was, I guess, yelling from the dugout, and Rutschman had a weird look on it. He says, what are you talking about? I never even touched the ball. The 0-2. Swing, pops it up. He'll run it out, but that's going to be a lazy fly ball into center field, and that'll end the inning. Cubs go down. 1, 2, 3. We'll be back in a flash. See if the Orioles can make any noise in the top of the 9th.
Use the left lane to keep left to merge onto I-405 south towards
mother self-righteous hoe bag of a waffle.
Bill Buckner is mostly known for an error he made in Game 6 of the 1986 World Series. Today I'm going to change that, so here's the career of Bill Buckner. Today at Wrigley Field on May 17, 1979, he went 4 for 7 with a career-high 7 RBIs and capped it off with a grand slam off of Tug McGraw. A year later, he won the National League batting title. A year later, he set career highs in RBIs, hits, and doubles. That season, he also set the Major League record for assists in a season with 184, which lasted 25 years. He was a big part of the reason the Red Sox won the American League East in 1986. His 18 home home runs were a career high, and for the second year in a row, he topped over 100 RBIs. Despite a rocky start to the American League Championship Series in 1986, he started a rally in Game 5, which led to Dave Henderson's famous home run. Not to mention he went 3 for 6 in the last 2 games of the series to help the Red Sox punch their ticket to the World Series. His 453 career strikeouts in 21 seasons is usually eclipsed by players nowadays in almost 2 seasons. Even though Gold Glove shouldn't be gauged by fielding percentage, his .991 career fielding percentage certainly should have gotten him a Gold Glove or 2 during his career. He is truly underappreciated considering he ranks 66th all-time in hits and doubles, 51st in singles, and 47th in putouts. So let's give Bill Buckner the credit he deserves and remember him for a truly great career.
Our boys are very close in age and they're very close friends and they get along great with their dad.
I hope you're farther than me.
But you've played 10,000 more rounds of golf in your life.
Yeah, but still.
I don't know about that. You play like every day. It's called networking.
We barbecue and watch sports and they have this banter back and forth amongst themselves. They're kind of like a little clan.
A lot of these guys, they get married at 22, 23. They have a kid. First 13 years of his life, you're gone. Probably weighing into my decision to wait and get married and then have the opportunity and the wherewithal and the time to be a part of their lives.
Has anybody ever looked at their wife and been like, damn it, damn it?
Welcome back. So if this inning, as we're going to the top of the 9th here, the Cubs send Palencia to try to close the game out. First pitch swing, and this is going to lead into my number. It's popped up high in the sky. Dansby Swanson underneath it. Oh, one away. One pitch, one out. If this game here ends pretty quickly, that first game we did was 2 hours and 16 minutes. I know it was quick, but I just looked it up. It was 2 hours and 16 minutes. We could get this game in under 2 hours, which means the double header that we signed on to do with these 2 games. First pitch on the way, outside wide. It's 1-0. And granted, we were catching the first game in action. We didn't expect both games to go this way. We would have completed the 2 double headers with one starting almost 2 hours after the other one in just over 3.5 hours. The 2-0 count. Swing, pops it back high, deep into left field, but the wind will knock that down, and the Cubs are 1 out away from getting this win. That's insane to me that these 2 games could be done this. Because that's people asking me in my personal life, what time do you think the game is going to be done? And I was thinking 5:30, 6 o'clock, because some of these Wrigley games are nuts on Friday afternoons. I remember seeing many games that last well over 3 hours. Standing room only here at Wrigley. Palencia fires the first pitch, 101 miles an hour, right down Main Street. It's 0-1. Adley Rutschman, the last chance. You look at the standings, obviously Baltimore's out of it, but you look at what the Cubs are doing. They came into this game 1 game behind the Brewers for first place in the Central, and they're the top wild card team. As the 0-1 inside drifts in, which is why we chose to do this game. I told you that whatever doubleheaders we go doing, we do going forward this year, they're going to be in the playoff hunt. This is a big win for Chicago if they can get it. The 1-1 swung on, sliced down the left field line. That's going to go up against the wall into the ivy, and it's not over yet. Rutschman has a 1-out double, and the tying run in scoring position. I believe that'll be O'Neill coming to the plate. It's not over yet. That was another guy that they said, I mean, people just were expecting him to get moved, and it never happened. Righty-righty matchup with Palencia. Tyler O'Neill at the plate. A lot of folks had him going all kinds of places. First pitch on the way is up top for a high strike. It's 0-1. Doug Eddings taking this into his own hands. He's going to call these high, wide strikes. The 0-1. But modern day, you don't see games in under 2 hours. Swung on, that ball's blasted. But I think the wind's going to get it. It will. Catch is made in left field by Ian Happ, and the Cubs win. Any other day, I'm telling you, it's 2-1, and we're playing the bottom of the ninth. But instead, we do 2 games, a doubleheader, quasi-doubleheader, because we caught this one in the middle of it, and it finishes right at 4:10, which means that we did both of these games in exactly 3 hours and a half. And a few years ago, that's a Red Sox-Yankees game on a Sunday night. Well, damn, I was kind of looking forward to doing this game. We barely got warm, and here we are. Cubs win. They're now a half game behind in the Central. We'll see what happens tonight. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your Friday. I never thought I'd be done by 4 o'clock. The sun's shining here in Jacksonville, Florida. I think I'm going to go dip in the pool. Y'all have a good one, Brave Country. Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2, but with 1 inning more to play. And when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a pall-like silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did Jimmy Blake, and the former was a hoodoo, while the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim, melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single, to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted, and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second, and Flynn a hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats and more rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It pounded on the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing, and a smile lit Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance flashed in Casey's eye, a sneer cooled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in a haughty grandeur there. Closed by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. From the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of a storm waves on a stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpire!" shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With the smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult, he bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the dun sphere flew. But Casey ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echoed answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. The sneer is from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in the favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Casey at the Bat, Ernest Lawrence Thayer, published June 3rd, 1888. San Francisco Examiner.